work. You all know that. Next. This is our low end. You'll see that everything is on the front page, so you're not spooling through pages to get to product categories. You probably won't see that because we're going to do a cookie, login, auto detect which country you're in, how much bandwidth you're in, so you don't even have to mess with a lot of options. We're basically going to go with an account system where you get an account with us the first time you mess with us. Hopefully you do it in the States where you don't have to worry about having a hassle, and after that you're good. And it will track everything. You see we have specials. One of the things that we get because of some of the restrictions we're accepting is that when we barter with retailers and wholesalers, we barter on the behalf of U.S. soldiers, which is a lot of leverage because, well, people support their troops. There's always good pricing for troops. There's very few large businesses that don't offer some sort of discount, and that gives us the means to deliver better prices than the average business, much less better prices than the rip-off business that services the United States military and tells us that it's a service. Yeah, some bitterness. Click. Additional means we have is that humanitarian leverages. The other thing is their existing support in veteran networks, so it's easy enough to try to tap into these, especially if we make it exclusive to the military thing. We can get access to that stuff. USA has access to this stuff. During the mobilization process, the only commercial vendor that I saw at any of the stations, both mobilizations I've been on, where they were allowed to come and talk to you about their service was USAA, because they exist and understand and market to and for and are run by and mainly employ ex-soldiers. Like, for instance, they have booths. This keychain in my pocket I got in basic training, and I cannot complain about their service. Because they have that leverage, because that's how they market themselves, they are allowed to go places that normal commercial vendors aren't and penetrate that market. And that's part of what we're going to maneuver ourselves for. In addition, we're going to start with a set of support services because there are things that are simple for us to do that add content to the site and actually serve our troops, like wedding registry style care packages. You've probably all heard of care packages. Sometimes moms send them to kids in college, but people overseas, everyone you know, your church group who cares about you is like, hey, we want to give you stuff. And usually you're like, I don't know what I need, I'm not there yet. Or you're there and you're like, I don't know, what will I need in 6 weeks? So some of that process is overlap. In fact, there's incredible overlap. Like, you know, any soldiers, don't send them toothbrushes and don't send them baby wipes because everyone thinks of that. In fact, we have piles of them. So by using the wedding registry style formats that already exist, you can get around that. And that's convenient stuff. You all know what Craigslist is. When you're on a military base and you're leaving and you have a refrigerator, you need to get rid of it. Stereos, all sorts of stuff people want to get rid of. There's really no way to do that outside of physical bulletin boards. Some of the isolated posts, that's not going to work for you, and you need to talk to a broader area of people. Like if you're taking a convoy to a location and you're only going to be there for 4 hours and you want to know what they have to sell, that's not available. So I think that would be useful. Scheduled gift services. If you have an anniversary, you may not even be aware of it when it occurs when you're overseas. If you schedule a gift at that time for birthday, Christmas, whatever, basically we're trying to make it possible for people to get that stuff covered in their absence in a very easy way. Also, the one thing that we would like to do, and I very much personally would like to do, is we're going to have manpower and we're going to have resources, so I wanted to try to do special orders of needs, which is if there's no other place in existence which will perform this service for you, and you may or may not have family, and your wife may or may not have left you, and these things really happen to soldiers on a regular basis, no one may be able to do something special on your behalf. I can't tell you what that is. But you need to have someone that you can call and say, hey, I really want this from this tiny shop in my small town, and they sure don't do shipping with freezing. Can you go there, freeze this, and send it to me on my birthday? And I want to be able to do that. Thanks. Okay, why invest? I think the math speaks for itself. You got 3.5 million customers, they each spend $1,000, which is a very low ball figure on applicable spendings per year. You got a $3.5 billion market. If we make 10% profit on volume, industry standard for retail is about 35%, so that means we're low